Howdy partners. Funny how things you do are influenced by what you did when you were a child. Like me, for example, driving around solitary man in these forests on the bike, talking to myself. I remember when I was 12 years old and I got my first bike, first proper bike, Rally Hustler. Probably weighed about twice as much as this bike. Solid steel, everything. Even steel mudguards. 3-speed Sturmey Archer. Bright purple. I can still smell it. And I got my bike at the beginning of the summer holidays. I think it was either a late Christmas present or an early Christmas present, so I could use it in the summer. Now every year we used to go to the east coast of Britain, to Filey or Scarborough, and that was our holiday destination. Went there for 1 week. And when I got my new bike, I was 12 years old, and I says to myself, right, I'm going to Filey, going to the sea on my bike, and set off really early one morning. And it's about 65 miles there and 65 back, and I set off, and about 3/4 of the way there, a place called Moulton, my toggle chain snapped. That's the little chain that you use to change gear. So I had one gear on the bike, second gear. I kept going, and I eventually made it to the sea. And I went down on the beach, and I was riding on the beach, and I got a puncture straight away. So I fixed the puncture on the beach, had my puncture outfit with me, and started riding again. Got another puncture straight away, and came to the conclusion it's not a good place to ride on the beach, you get punctures. So I fixed the second puncture, back onto the main road. And so not only did I ride to the east coast, I rode up almost to Scarborough, and then down the east coast, down to Filey, and then further down to Bridlington. And it was already about 5 o'clock in the evening, and I was pretty tired. I had about, must have been 8 to 5 miles under my belt already. I was pretty shagged. So I had to ride then all the way back from Bridlington back towards Leeds, over the Yorkshire Wolds, and it started getting dark. And luckily I had a dynamo on the bike, but that makes it going even harder. So I was riding along, zzz, dynamo going, absolutely knackered. And got to about 12 o'clock at night, and I was just on the outskirts of York, and I had a kind of not a collapse, but just lost all my energy. I just couldn't go any further. I had nothing to eat. Been cycling for about 18 hours or something. Didn't have much food with me, no money. And I was out on the outskirts of York. I went into a telephone box, 12 years old at the time, and I went in the telephone box and just rang 999 and sat in the telephone box and said, I can't make it anymore, I'm tired out, I'm in the telephone box at blah blah blah. And I sat in the telephone box and went straight to sleep in there. I woke up an hour later, police there, ambulance. Said, are you alright? And I says, yeah, I'm okay, but I'm just totally knackered. And so they put my bike in the police car, brought me to the police station in York, and about 2 in the morning by then, and we didn't have a phone at home, so I sent a policeman to my mum's house to say I'm okay. And my mum came the next day to pick me up. Anyway, they took me to the police station, and one of the policemen gave me a big chicken dinner. That was brilliant. And they took me to some kind of a hostel, some children's home thing. They put me up there for the night. The next morning my mum turned up. She was angry as hell because she'd spent the rent money on the train to come over, and we couldn't take the bike on the train anyway, so in the end I had to ride the rest of the way home anyway. My mum went back on the train, but it was quite an adventure. And just saying, the adventure carries on in a way, doesn't it? Here I am still. But this time I probably wouldn't go in the phone books. So, anyway, look at that view. Makes it all worth it. We'll just drive out this field today. Clean cycling gear, all covered in bloody mud already. See tracks, go that way, follow those tracks. So I guess the only difference is between them old days on the bike and now is I usually bring more supplies with me. I've got enough to eat and some money. I still don't bother with a phone. See, a lot of people use those Garmin things. It's like a sort of tracking device. I think you have a phone and an app on your phone, and then when you get home it automatically draws a little map on Google Earth where you were, what time you were there, your time, how long it took you to drive, and it's kind of interesting. And the little map that it draws is quite good as well. Concentrate there a bit, it's a bit rough. It's been raining so much, the path's just turned to a mud heap. Get through the mud, go on man. Okay. There we are, back on the sunlit uplands. Yeah, so that could be good fun. You can track exactly where you were, how long it took you. But I kind of like being a little bit wild and not have been tracked, and that's why I don't take a phone with me. Wife always says, take a phone in case anything happens. See that old shed there? in the distance, that green one. That's stuff built by the Canadians when the Canadians used to be stationed here. Probably an old tank garage or something. You can get quite a lot of things like that sprouting up around here. The walkers are out today. Not good for walking though, it's too muddy. At least on the bike you can go through the puddles and not get wet. I like going by foot in mountains, but not so much on paths like this. I need to go a bit faster. I get impatient if I'm just walking. Yeah, so back to them stories about first days of cycling. I did that trip in the summer, and a couple more as well to the east coast as well of Britain. The summer went by and it was middle of winter, and I joined the YHA Youth Hostel Association, and I wanted to go youth hosteling. So my mum sewed me up a sheet sleeping bag and off I went. I think it was in January. Went to the Yorkshire Dales, 3 nights away, with about £2. My hostel's booked. Up in the Dales. Got right up into the high mountains of the Dales. Slept in the youth hostel. Woke up the next morning and it was 3 foot of snow outside, all the roads covered. I came out of the youth hostel, pushing my bike through these snow drifts up to my waist. Wonder I didn't die actually. Must have been just turned 13 then. It was 13th birthday. I don't know how my mother even let me do it either. So that's how it was in them days. So apart from nearly dying of hypothermia, nothing happened. And as well, in the climate that they have today, one of the youth hostels was a little tiny place, a simple one, and there was only me in there and the warden, some strange old guy in there as the warden. You wouldn't allow kids to spend the night there alone with some stranger, would you? Cheers, my days. This is a life, lovely and peaceful up here, nice and warm too, out of the wind. Isotonic beer. It's been 3 winds today. This morning it was east wind. This afternoon it was a southwesterly, and towards evening it's supposed to spin round to northerly. So that's kind of how I've planned my ride today, because hopefully the wind's going to start blowing. Excuse me. The wind's going to start blowing from the north, shoot me back home. It's downhill all the way anyway, so no problem. But these little bits of planning in your bike ride make life easier.